Hello, Big Brother fans. I'm having issues with my computer and it's really late and I'm really tired, but here's episode 2 review of Big Brother 15. Well, we start with Erin thinking that she's going to be MVP more than a few times. That's pretty presumptuous of her, I would have to say. It's supposed to be the person who we think is playing the game best. I loved that it really started scaring the house guests. This power that's being given, because it, like several of them pointed out, you're gonna have to not just kiss the butt of the HOH, but you also have to make sure that you keep everyone pretty much on your side. So this time it's going to have to be a majorly social game. They're going to have to rely on the friendships that they're trying to make, that you have to make and keep, because you never know when, this person is going to get it, because they don't have to reveal who they are. So that's going to be a real interesting part of this game. And I like that CBS came up with this, because the game was getting quite stagnant. It really was. As much as I love it, I'll be the first to admit and point out the flaws. I'm kind of tired of the repetition of the games, and after 15 seasons, and on the scale that they have to produce them on, I don't blame them for using games and whatnot, but it does get old for the fans. Let's see, Jeremy said that he was going to have to do a lot of snuggle sessions with a lot of the girls just to make sure he stays on their side. I found that kind of funny. I did like that the guys came together to make an alliance, and even though on that first episode they bandied about several different alliances, nothing so far has been seen about them yet. But yet, this moving company has really shown a pretty big, it's not huge, but they're already making moves. They're already planning ahead of time. So the 5, I believe. Gosh, did I write them down? Would be Dave. No, sorry. Nick, Jeremy, Spencer, okay, I'm not even going to attempt it. It is too late and I'm too tired. Sorry. The entire house, they did an entire segment about how the entire house was onto Alyssa and knew that she was Rachel Riley's sister. And it was kind of funny because, she looks so much like her and sounds so much like her. And then, being next to people who are just talking crap about your sister, that must have been really hard for her, to have to hear that. You have to realize that, it's a game. And she did win it. So, whatever, people can't judge a book by a sister's cover. You know what I mean? Let's see. The Have Not game was called Cooler and the Gang. And they basically had to get in a tube and go across a little lake or whatever and jump into the cooler, grab a can, paddle back. And you had 4 people holding ropes, and there was like a platform, and they had to create 15 cans into a pyramid, and the pyramid couldn't fall apart. If anything falls, they had to start all over again. So there were 3 teams, and they, at the very beginning, Howard said that he needs to win this because he needs to fuel this machine. He just does not want to be on slop for a week, And that's the one problem with these muscle guys. They have the muscle, but it doesn't do a whole lot for them other than make them a big target because people become afraid of them. But they never really ever pull their weight in any of these competitions and whatnot. As evidenced tonight when he jumped into that tube, and I was like, what's up with that? It was ridiculous. So he finally made it apart, across. Anyway, the losing team, of course, was the team that Howard was on. So Howard, Andy, Alyssa, Judd, and Helen are going to be the have-nots for this week. And they did show the have-not room, and it's created to look like an airplane, and you have to sleep in an airplane seat. And so, of course, everybody was immediately complaining about this. Howard says, this is a first-class body, and I need first-class service. And I was thinking, dude, if you want first-class service, you need to start serving up first-class competitions. You can't just bail on the first one, because you don't want to be seen as, as a target, and then the second one not even know how to paddle a frickin', tube across a little lake, to get a can. So yeah, he's gonna have to start earning his keep if he wants to fuel that body. It looked cool, but I'm so sure that that's gonna get very old after a week. We have America's Vote this week. The first is for bologna and blue cheese. Number 2 is oysters and okra. And number 3 is liver and lima beans. And as always, in the very beginning part of Big Brother, America is always very kind, and they're very good with their choices, and they choose the least, offensive choice. So I'm going to go with people are going to choose bologna and blue cheese, so that they can, continue to at least eat well. And it will start to degrade further as people being America, begin to start hating some of these people. Isn't it sad that it's so predictable that way? Let's see. Alyssa finally confided in McRae that she's Rachel's sister, because she didn't want it to fire back. And then, of course, they show all the hater girls that are all, irritated because why does she feel like she has to hide it from us and blah, blah, blah. Well, just the reason she's hiding it from you is the exact same reasons that you biatches are sitting in the corner hating on her just because she's Rachel Riley's sister. I mean, come on, seriously. That was the one thing I hated when I was going to school. My sister ahead of me, she was not a very good student. She was not a very good student. And so when my cat, she does the cutest little thing. And so when I would show up 2 years later, the teachers go, "Oh, you're Laurie's sister." And I'm, come on now. Seriously, you're going to judge me on my sister? And then, yay, there's me. I was, yeah. Don't be judging people by their sisters. Stupid people. Let's see what else. Okay, so anyway, there was nominations, and McRae was trying to take in everybody's suggestions, and he was like, even though I'm going to take in your suggestions, I still have to do what's best for me. And pretty much basically he didn't listen to anything these people said, other than he decided not to choose a male to put up at first. They said target 2 females. And, he was like, the thing was, it's like, he's like, then, if I choose 2 females that are not, people that should be targeted because they're weaker or whatever, and I'm not going after a real strong person like, what is that guy, Andy? What's his name, Andy? The dude with the hair. What is his name? David? I don't know what his name is. David. He was like, then that's a total waste of my HOH. But come on, it's the first HOH. You're still getting to know these people. You don't quite hate them yet. So he did go down the line, and usually it's kind of, I always wonder how they decide when they're going to put in the key and when they're not going to put in the key. And was he going to put his alliance as the first bunch of people? But he didn't. He mixed it up, and he actually put Howard and Spencer way down on the list of keys coming out. And he ended up nominating Jesse and Candace. He told Candace that she's strong and he wants her to kick ass in the veto competition, and he told Jesse that she has a wicked social game, and that was the reason he was putting her up. And of course, they were all kind of, oh, can you put me up? Oh, give me a break. Come on, somebody had to go up, and it's just your time. So whatever. If you're that good, then kick ass and veto, like they always say. And pray you don't get your ass backdoored. Anyway, that's it. I won't be posting this until morning because I don't have the time to sit around and wait for this to load. I'm sorry. What are you guys going to vote for in America's choice, the America's vote in terms of the food? And what do you think about the people that have been nominated? You think it was a good choice that he went with 2 girls and not go after someone who is stronger and that they needed to get out at this point? Or do you think it was a smart decision to follow what the house wanted and just kind of solidify himself in with the group? Because he did start out quite awkwardly, and I was worried actually that he wasn't going to fit in, but he's fitting in pretty well. But, of course, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's HOH and everyone's kissing his butt. Alright, you guys, I'll see you, Tuesday? I'll see you Tuesday.